work of the State Board. First thing on the agenda is the approval of our last month's meeting. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented? I wish they were together. Got people on each end. Any objection? Hearing none, they will be approved by unanimous consent. Next thing on the agenda would be approving the agenda for today. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented? Hearing none, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. I'm assuming there's no public comment, so we'll move into committee items. First, we have the identification of the critical needs subject areas for 25-26. Michael, is it Carruthers?
Yes, ma'am.
That was a good guess.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, good morning. Thank you all. My name is Michael Carruthers from the Office of Educator Services, and I'm here to talk about the critical needs designations for the 2025-2026 school year. The purpose of this report is for the forgiveness of loans that we're taking out through the South Carolina teacher loan system. One of the, there we go. So the identification of critical needs subject areas. We use the supply and demand data from SARA. We use the U.S. Department of Education formula. We determine which certification fields are considered critical needs subject areas. If a teacher teaches in one of these critical needs subject areas, then they can have loans forgiven through SC student loans. And this is the listing of the areas, and it is all of the areas are still critical needs. This list is consistent with last year's list, and the year before. Before that, I was not with the agency, so. Yes.
There's so many there, it's almost like you have to tell us what's not.
That would be easy because it's none.
So the U.S. Department of Ed formula, as long as the total vacancies are below 5% of our teaching population, all those fields can be designated as critical needs subject areas. And the benefit of expanding that list, which we did 3 years ago, is to offer additional loan forgiveness to teachers. So folks that are coming up through teacher preparation programs who wish to major in one of these certification fields, they can take out those teacher loans and know that so long as they're teaching in that field, it will be forgiven at a certain rate.
And it puts those students on an equal playing field with those on taking out federal loans, because this is for forgiveness of loans obtained through SC student loan. The geographic areas, we look at 3 main pieces of information, and this is provided by the Office of Research and Data Analysis. We look at poverty index of 70% or higher. We look at a report card rating of below average or unsatisfactory, and we look at a 3-year average teacher turnover rate of 20% or higher. Any school that meets one of those criteria or more than one qualifies as a critical needs geographic area. And we had 939 entries that were designated as critical needs geographic areas in this report. The next step is in March, when we will come back with the critical needs designations for employment of retired educators. With that report, it will largely be based on this one that we've submitted today, with the addition of including all CTE centers, and also looking at districts that are considered a supermajority district, any district where 67% or more of the schools qualify as a critical needs geographic area. Those districts are considered a supermajority district, and an educator working at any school in that district who retires would be exempt from that earnings limitation. Are there any questions I can answer?
And this may be a question,
The listing works with, or just identifies teaching areas, but administrators can also retire and continue to work as an administrator. In a school, yes.
this may be a question for Mary or Lila. Do you happen to know the percentage of teachers that do not take advantage of the loan forgiveness? Or maybe Sarah could tell us that, because I have, when I've worked with, in the past, with some, they just did not know that there was plenty of money there for the loans to be forgiven than was being forgiven. So it would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
I have, Madam Chair, I have a question, if I may. The loan, is it forgiven in total, or is it the payments and the interest forgiven for the period of time that they're teaching?
With SC Student Loan, they will look at both your subject area and your geographic area, and will forgive at a higher rate with both, but that's information I don't entirely have on hand.
Well, it seems like it could be a retention.
Yes,
It is.
It is.
So, and what Michael is getting at there, so if you take out the South Carolina teacher loan and you're teaching in a critical needs subject area, the loan is forgiven at one rate. If you're teaching in both a critical needs subject and geographic area, it is retired at a higher rate or quicker time period.
So it'd be more than just the payment.
Yes,
I see.
but it just gets at whether it's a 3-year or 5-year, there's just a retirement schedule there. So you can qualify for retiring that at a higher, I guess, a quicker time period. And you're exactly right, it is a retention. It's a
Okay.
recruitment and a retention piece, so.
Are there
Yeah.
other questions?
Yeah, I was just glad to see that driver's ed was on the list, because as I drive around the state, it's clear that teaching people how to drive is critical need. Yeah.
Very true.
Anybody else have a question?
I have a question. If
Mike.
one of these teachers that has this opportunity to be forgiven, if they retire and come back, is that earning cap lifted? Did I understand that? Any earning cap lifted?
Yes, that's in the next one in March when we look at that. That is specifically for retired educators.
Right.
But yes, they would be able to retire, draw their retirement, and not be subject to that earnings limitation if they work in that critical needs subject area or geographic area.
Anybody else have a question? John's not in the room, so I'm going to make an executive decision that we vote on these as two different items instead of it together, okay? So the first item was the critical need subject areas. Do I have a motion to approve the identification of the critical needs subject areas for 25-26?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the subject area.
The
critical
motion has
subject
been
areas.
made. Is there a second? Board Member Harrington, second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The second item was the identification of critical needs geographic areas for 25-26. Is there a motion to approve the identification of critical needs geographic areas for 25-26?
Mathis makes a motion to approve the critical need geographic areas for 25-26.
Thank you, Dr. Mathis. Is there a second?
Madam
Thank
Chair,
you, Mr. Harrington.
Madam Chair.
Second. Yes.
Before you go too far, I think you may need to go back and do both of them over again, because I don't believe Dr. Mathis is a part of this committee.
If we don't have a quorum, no.
He's sitting in
Sit
as
in,
because
right.
Jim Corbin. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Okay. Did we get a second on that last one? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, our next item, thank you.
Thank you all.
Jacqueline's up next. She's going to talk about the alternative route program approval, additional certification fields for Winthrop University's Network for Alternative Preparation and Teaching. That's a long title.
Mouthful, yes, ma'am. Thank you. As you said, Winthrop University's Network for Alternative Preparation and Teaching Program, or NET-APT, established in 2023 of August, developed a proposal to add the certification fields of early childhood education and elementary education. After conducting an internal review of the proposal, the external peer review team of subject area experts reviewed the proposal to evaluate the rigor and the content of the program, as well as to ensure that all requirements established in statute, regulation, and guidelines were sufficiently addressed. The external peer review team approved the program with conditions, and the SCDE returned the proposal to the institution for a response. After revisions were made, the Professional Review Committee, or PRC, considered the NET-APT proposal on December 13th and voted to recommend approval of the program to the State Board. The SCDE recommends that the State Board approve the additional certification fields of early childhood education and elementary education as a part of Winthrop University's NET-APT Alternative Certification Program.
Any questions? No questions? Okay, if there are no questions, is there a,
I do.
oh, I'm
So-
sorry.
In essence, what does this do?
So this will allow the NET-APT program to offer certification in the fields of early childhood and elementary education as a part of their alternative certification program. Sure.
Are there other questions?
Whether the leathers training is required in that alternative route.
So as a part of the professional development from the district, that will be a part of that. I will tell you that the Read to Succeed Act, of course, now requires the assessment in teaching of reading for candidates applying for certification in those fields, and beginning September 1st, 2026. And this requirement will be implemented into this program as well as it applies to traditional and alternative certification programs.
Okay, last call. Any other questions? Do I have a motion then to approve the alternative route program for Winthrop Universities?
I make a motion that we approve.
Board Member Harrington made a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Beverly Fyerson, second. The motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
We have no items today for information, so now we will move on to adding items to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to place items 1, 2, and 3, all 3 items that we've heard this morning, on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Who was that?
Me,
Is that
Harrington.
Mr. Harrington, okay. Mr. Harrington made the motion to approve this consent agenda. Is there a second? Beverly down here. Is there a second? Beverly Fearson makes a second. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Any other business? Do I have a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.